you need the rest, to take the rest. If you can keep it going, keep it going. Just making sure that you're not straining yourself. So same as usual, if you're sitting, see if you can find space at the front of the body. So encouraging the ribcage to lift. So leaving space for the belly, leaving space for the diaphragm to efficiently descend and ascend to create that nice relaxed breath, so that you're not forcing yourself into an apical breath. So you're not breathing with the neck, you're not breathing with the top of the chest. If you're laying down, taking advantage of the mat underneath, see if you can just let everything relax onto the mat, and then softening the throat, relaxing the shoulders and the front of the chest. So see if you can get the nice relaxed belly breath going. Feeling the belly raising with the inhalation and falling with the exhalation. So see if I can try and calm the whole of the system down just by using the breath. And then at the same time, practicing that little scan over the body. So noticing where everything is, and then how it feels to begin with. So I might feel a bit wonky, the pressure might be slightly different side to side. I'm not changing anything. I'm just trying to understand where everything is and how it feels to begin with. And then as I feel a little bit calmer, as I feel a little bit more relaxed, I'm just going to start focusing on the shoulder girdle. What I want, imagine to be ungluing the shoulder blades stuck at the back. So I'm just going to start shrugging the shoulders up to the head, pulling them up to my ears, and then I'm going to press them down and away. So I'm going to elevate and depress. If you're laying down, you've got the mat to guide you, so you can't really go wrong with the direction. But if I'm seated up, see if you can play with the two extremes. So especially as I depress the shoulders, as I press them down, if the shoulder moves forward slightly, as I press down, I can feel it all into the front of the chest. If I exaggerate and push it back, I can feel it all into the back of the shoulder. See if I can find that midway position where I feel that the front of the chest and the back of the shoulder are working equally to create that little up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then last one. I'm going to keep the shoulders down, keep them depressed. I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to start going into a little protraction, retraction. So I'm going to pull them forward this time, and then I'm going to retract and take them back. So I'm going to try and squeeze them together at the front, and then squeeze them together at the back. If I'm seated, see if you can start encouraging a little extension. So as I retract the shoulders, think of the chest popping forward and the upper back extending slightly. And then as I protract, I'm going to round myself. If I'm laying down, I'm going to try the same. A bit limited for space as I'm laying down on the mat. I can still protract, lift off the ground, and then retract, pushing the shoulders into the ground, and then see if I can really lift the chest up. Then again, protracting, retracting. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the back, and then I'm going to try and combine the 4 directions, so up and down and forward and back. Think of a little shoulder roll. So I'm going to start rolling one shoulder at a time. So I'm going to roll back the right, roll back the left, roll back the right, roll back the left. If you're lying down, you can only roll the shoulder. If I'm seated up, I can start rotating a little bit with the shoulder roll. So I can roll the shoulder back, but I can also turn with the shoulder and then come back to the center. Turn the other way and then come back to the center. So from one over to the other side, from one over to the other side. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the shoulders, adjusting the rib cage, adjusting the position of the head. And then I'm going to start focusing on the shoulder joint this time. I'm going to start off with a nice and easy front raise. I'm going to raise the right arm up to the front. I'm going to take it up, take it back as far as I can. I'm going to return the arm, and then I'm going to try the same thing with the left. So it could be a little lift, it could be a big lift, just to see if you can be aware of what you're lifting with. I don't want to lift with my neck, so I don't want to stiffen up and tense. I want to keep it as loose as possible, as relaxed as possible. So the neck is not getting stiffer, it's not getting tighter as the arm moves. And then since I'm working one arm at a time, if I feel that my left side is a bit painful, I'm going to make the movement a little bit smaller. My right side is fine. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger on that side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing down, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, and then I'm going to change the direction of the movement. From a front raise, I'm going to move into a lateral raise. So this time, instead of picking the arm up at the front, I'm just going to swing around the side and then bring it down again. And with the other, I'm going to do the same and then down again. Same as I did for the front raise. If the shoulder movement feels restricted, I might swing the arms slightly forward to that sideline. Again, making sure that the neck is not stiffening, I'm not tensing, I'm trying to keep it as loose, as relaxed as possible. And then as usual, if the shoulder clicks, it normally clicks exactly at the same point each time. So as you're getting close to that point, see if you can play with a little internal or external rotation with the arm. See if you can find a better fit between the top of the arm and the shoulder socket. And you might actually be able to get rid of that clicking. So it's a nice big swing with my right, coming down, and a nice big swing with my left, and then releasing back. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing down, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Same as I did for the shoulder girdle, I'm going to try and combine the 4 direction, up and down to the front, and then up and down to the side. So I'm going to go into circles. So one arm at a time, I'm going to pick up the right arm at the front, I'm going to circle it round and then drop it. With the left, I'm going to do the same. Lifting up to the front, circle around, and then come back. And then I'm going to try with the other. If you're seated, take advantage of the space. It's the same as you did for the shoulder roll. See if you can try and use as much space as possible, encouraging some rotation in the back. But just making sure that to get the bigger movement, you're not twisting the shoulder. So I'm following the shoulder so that I can make the movement bigger, but I don't want to force the shoulder joint. If I'm laying down, I'm just going to try and use the space that I've got to make a nice big swing round and a nice big circle around the other way. 4, 3, 2, last time. And releasing down. Just a little rest for the arms, resetting the shoulders, and then I'm going to try one more time, reversing the circle this time. So I'm going to start to swing around to the side, moving towards the head, and then coming down at the front, swing around the side, coming down at the front, swing around the side, down to the front. So same as before. As I reverse the circle, the movement is slightly different, so I might need to make the circle smaller, I might be able to go bigger. Again, if I'm seated, think of following with the rib cage. So I'm going to turn, take my arm back, I'm going to swing it round, and then bring it down at the front. Turn, coming up at the back, and then release into the front. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the arms. It's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint as well, so movement into the back for the people that are seated. I'm just going to make sure that with the arms movement, the neck is not tighten up. So I'm just going to let the arms relax down the side, and then I'm going to start taking the right heel down to the right shoulder. And then I'm going to lift it up again. So it's a little drop. And then lifting up again. So without forcing, see if you can picture a gentle stretch that comes down the left side of the neck. Three, 2, and then on the last one, I'm going to drop the right heel to the right shoulder. I'm going to hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the head to the right, and then think of depressing your left shoulder. So with your left arm reaching down the side of the body, the stretch should become a little bit stronger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm just going to start moving the head just a slightly side to side, as if you were saying no, 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 no. So just a little rotation, noticing how the stretch changes around the neck, and just making sure that there is no pain on the neck or shooting down the arms. 4, 3, 2, and then last one, I'm going to turn the head as if I was trying to drop my nose onto that right shoulder. And then I'm going to hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the right hand, I'm going to hook around the back of the head. And then a gentle pull, see if I can bring the head a little bit closer to the shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, turning the head back to the center, and then lifting it back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. I'm going to try the same thing to the other side. So left ear down to the left shoulder, and then coming back again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then last one, I'm going to keep it to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deep press in that right shoulder, reaching down the side of the right arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then same as on the other side. Think of that little knot with the head. So just a little side to side. 2, 3, 4, 5. Returning, bringing the nose down to the shoulder. Just a little bit more stretch around the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then with the left hand, if I can, I'm going to reach to the back of the head. Gentle pull, see if I can go a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the arm, turning the head back to the center, and then easing it back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Hopefully the neck feels a little bit more relaxed. I'm going to focus on the back. I'm going to start off with a little rotation. So if I'm seated, I can keep the arms onto the chest. I can bring the arms to the front. It's entirely up to you. If you're laying down, it's easier with your arms in front of you. I'm just going to start to swing from side to side. So rotating one side, coming back, rotating the other way. If you're seated, think of turning your head and your gaze too. So what I want is to be able to see as far around as possible with my eyes. So I'm just going to keep looking around as far as I can, come back to center, and then I'm going to try and look around the other way. So see if I can really encourage that turn, that rotation. If I'm lying down, I'm just going to let myself rock from one shoulder over to the other, turning the head to follow the arms, making the movement as big as it's comfortable for the shoulders, for the upper back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the center, I'm going to rotate to the right as far as I can. I'm going to extend that left arm straight across the front of the chest, and then with the right hand, I'm going to hook around the forearm, and then I'm just going to hug the arm nice and close to the chest. I should be able to feel a little bit more stretch behind that right shoulder blade, behind that right side. I'm going to hold it steady. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the center. I'm going to rotate to the left, to the other side. And then right arm, I'm going to bring across the chest. With the left arm, I'm going to hug it close until I can feel a nice stretch wrapping around the back of that shoulder. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. I'm giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the upper body. And then I'm going to focus on flexion, lateral flexion. So if I'm seated, I can just keep both arms down the side. If I'm laying down, I might want to use one hand to support the head. And then I'm just going to start moving from side to side. Just a little flexion. See if you can be aware of your rib cage moving. So think of your upper back. So I'm not moving my hips. I'm just trying to move the top of the spine. So from side to side. From side to side. Making sure that I'm not leaning backwards, so there is no pressure in the back as I'm flexing to the right. There is no pressure on the back as I'm flexing to the left. If I'm lying down, keeping the head slightly suspended so that I can move to the side without dragging the head along. Just carrying it with the other arm. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Using the head back to the floor if you're lying down. And then I'm going to change into the lower back. So I'm going to start with the lateral flexion. So exactly the same as I did with the upper body, but I'm going to do it from the hips. So think of a little hip hitch. So with the right hip, I'm going to pull up to the right side of the rib cage. With the left, I'm going to pull to the left. So I can feel the hips gently shifting side to side. I can feel the tension into the side of the belly. Try as much as you can not to push with the legs. If you're seated, exactly the same. Just imagine to be walking your seat bones up and down on the chair. So I'm going to pull up on the right, drop, pull up on the left, right, left, right, left. Then to begin with, I might need to use my arms to stabilize. And then I might try to see if I can do it with my arms away. So just a little bit more tension into the side of the belly to create the hitch, to create that lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Adjusting the hips, resetting the pelvis. And then from hip hitch, I'm going to go into pelvic tilt. So I'm going to go into anterior posterior movement. So if you're seated, think of the movement coming from your lumbar spine, so from the lower back. I want the lower back to curve back, and then I want it to curve forward. So I'm going to flex and extend. Flex and extend. Drawing the belly in as I flex, and then letting go as I extend. Drawing in as I flex, and then extend. So just mobilizing the base of the spine. See if I can feel a change in the shape of the lower back. So I'm not just swinging the body forward and back. I'm really trying to change the shape of the back. So rolling back onto the tailbone and then coming up onto the seat bones. Rolling back onto the tailbone and then up onto the seat bones again. If I'm laying down, it's a little bit easier as I've got the mat to guide me. So I'm just going to press the lower back into the mat. And then I'm going to try and lift it away. Press it into the mat and then lifting away. So feeling the tension into the front of the belly to encourage that posterior tilt. And then I'm just going to relax and go back into neutral. So tilting and releasing that tilt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Again, adjusting the hips, so releasing the hips, and then I'm going to try and combine the two movements together. So think of pelvic tilt, but instead of tilting both sides evenly, see if you can just think of leading with your right side. So the left, I'm going to keep it relaxed. I'm just going to try and tilt to the right, release, tilt to the right, release, tilt to the right, release. So the pelvis will feel slightly wonky as only one side is tensing while the other side is just being kind of like carried along. So I'm going to try and tense just the right, just the right, just the right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Just the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Relaxing the hips, so resetting the pelvis again into that centered position. I can feel the front of the belly a little bit more switched on. See if I can focus on the leg this time. So same as usual, if I need a little support, I'm just going to set the band or the strap behind the right leg, so that I can control it with the arms, or I can just grab hold of the leg if I'm seated as the leg is closer. And then I'm just going to start going into a little hip flexion. So see if you can think of the front of the hip tensing to pull up on the leg. And then I'm going to release down. So I'm going to try and lift that right foot and then pop it back. Lift it and then pop it back. So picture the right hip closing. So I want the hip to close and then to relax again. To close and to relax again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to try the same thing with the left. So if I need a little support, I'm just going to pop the band behind the left thigh, and then same as I did on the right. You just picture that left hip closing and then relaxing, closing and then relaxing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg, and then I'm just going to move into the opposite, so work into the back of the leg. So instead of trying to pull the foot off the ground, I'm going to try and push it into the ground. So focus on the right leg, I'm going to try and push down on the right, and then relax, push down on the right, and relax, push down on the right, and relax. So if you're seated, imagine to be wanting to stand on that right leg. So I'm going to push down as if I was trying to stand on that right leg. I'm going to release, push down as if I was trying to stand on that leg. If you're lying down and you feel that you can work a little bit more, then think of pushing down the right and then start coming up into a little bridge, keeping the left leg as relaxed as possible. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to try the same thing, but this time pushing down on the left. So I'm going to press down on the left, relax, press down, relax, and then same as I did for the other side. If I'm laying down, I might even try to lift and come down. If I'm seated, imagine to be wanting to stand on that left leg. So I'm just going to try and push down into that left to load as much as I can, and then I'm just going to relax. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Relaxing the hips and releasing the legs, and then moving on to the inside of the leg. So I'm just going to grab hold of the ball or the pillow, whichever one I've got, and then pop it between the knees. I'm going to focus on the ball. I'm going to try and squeeze it as hard as possible. So I'm going to try and squeeze as if I was trying to pop it, and then I'm just going to ease that pressure. So I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can, and then ease the pressure. And then same as usual, the first few squeezes, just compare the tension between the right and the left. I feel that my right leg is working well, my left leg is not working the same. The tension is a bit weaker, or I can see that my right leg is actually traveling, my left leg is not moving. I'm just going to focus on that left leg, maybe guiding it with the left hand, encourage it to move in a little bit more. Vice versa, if it's my right leg that is struggling a little bit. As I feel that the tension is a little bit more even, so I can feel both inner thighs working together, then I'm going to try and see if I can work it a little bit harder. So I'm going to press into the ball, and then I'm going to hold the pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to relax. I'm going to try again. I'm going to squeeze and hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Squeeze and hold again. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Squeeze and hold again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Squeeze and hold again. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Last one. Squeeze and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the legs, giving the leg a little tap, making sure that the inner thighs feels a little bit looser. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stretch. So keeping the feet nice and close together if you're lying down, allowing the feet to open up a little bit wider if you're seated, so that you can open the knees a little bit more if the legs can go. And then I'm just going to let the knees open out to the side. I think I'm creating a gentle stretch going into the inner thighs. So if I'm seated, I might use the hands to help me push so that I can get a little bit more stretch on the inside of the legs. Encouraging to Open up a little bit more. If I'm lying down, I'm just going to take advantage of gravity and then just letting the knees open out, the weight of the legs are pulling towards the ground. If I want to make it a little bit stronger, I can always place the hands on the inside of the legs and then applying a gentle pressure down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. I'm going to bring the knees all the way back together, adjusting the hips, and then I'm going to work with the reverses. So instead of squeezing, I'm going to be pulling out. So grabbing hold of your band. If the band is not elastic, so if it's a belt, a strap, then keep it a little bit looser so that you can move the legs slightly to the side so they're not tied completely together. I'm going to wrap the band around both thighs. And then I can either use a knot to hold it in place or a bow to hold it in place, or I can just hold it with the arms, but obviously the arms will start fatiguing. Make sure that the band is around the thigh bone, and not the shin bone, so there is no pressure on the knee. And then from there, I'm trying to push out into the band. So I'm going to try and stretch it out as much as I can. And then I'm just going to let it come back. Same as I did for the squeeze in. I feel that my right leg is working, my left leg is kind of like hanging around. So I'm just going to focus on that left leg with my left hand. I'm just going to see if I can encourage some movement. And then trying to control back, however small it feels, just to see if I can keep it going. So opening and closing. Out. And then controlling back. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Ease in the tension, relaxing the legs. I'm going to try one more time. The same as I did with the ball. This time I'm going to try and hold the tension. So I'm going to push out into the band. I'm going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm just going to let it relax. Then again, I'm going to push out, hold it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Out, hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. So 2 more times. Open. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Last time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. So relaxing the hips, releasing the legs. I'm just going to undo the band. Push it to the side. And then if you're lying down, I'm just going to keep feet and knees nice and close together, open the arms out nice and wide. I'm going to take the legs to the right, and then I'm just going to let them hang to the right. So think of a gentle stretch that comes down the side of the hip and the side of the leg. If you're seated, think of pulling the legs to the right. So with my right arm, I'm just going to pull the legs to the right. And then to encourage a little bit more stretch, I'm going to turn to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back. Same thing to the other side, taking the legs to the left. With the left hand, I'm just going to pull them over and then turning to the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release and back. Using the legs back to the middle, giving the legs, giving the hips a little shake. If you're lying down, when you're ready, rolling over onto your side, and then slowly pushing yourself up into sitting. Finding a comfortable seated position, leaning against the wall, sofa, or something that is not going to be moving. If you need a little support, using the arms at the back if you need to. And then same as we did at the beginning, see if we can find space at the front. So I'm going to try and lift up to the front, and then I'm going to exaggerate that lift this time. So pushing the chest forward, I'm going to roll the shoulders back, drop them down. I'm going to start looking forward, looking up, looking back, and then I'm going to release and come forward. Letting the chin drop down to the chest and the shoulders come forward. I'm going to roll it down towards the legs. Then I'm curling back up again, creating space at the front. Pushing the chest forward, the shoulders drawing back, sliding down, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then releasing, coming forward. Chin to the chest, the shoulders come forward, rolling down as far as I feel safe, comfortable. Last time. Extending up as much space as I can, pushing the chest forward, shoulders back, drop them down, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then releasing back to the front. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your breath, give yourself a pat on that.